Hey, welcome to the Seven Freedoms Frequency podcast with me, Iona Meade at the Soul Legacy TV, Spiritual Business Success with Iona. So welcome. It is, I knew I was going to burst into song. It was kind of what I was doing before I came on live. It's Emotional Freedom Wednesday. I love today. And I'll tell you why I like today, because it's like the middle of the week. You might be feeling a bit meh. We get to check in with how we're feeling. We're going to be talking about the emotional scale, the vibrational scale that Abraham Hicks talk about in their teachings. I'm sure that you're familiar with it if you've come across my YouTube podcast, right? Okay. So emotional freedom and the emotional scale and how that relates to us as spiritual entrepreneurs, as light workers doing our work in the world and having more life-work balance. Actually, before I dive into the episode, I usually share my highs, my lows, my successes, what's going on for me, because I want to make this a completely, I've got something in mind. I want to make this a completely transparent and helpful and practical YouTube podcast, right? This is us visualizing together, journaling together, setting intentions together, living an intentional life. And I'm committed to showing up, speaking out and serving deep every single day. Welcome. And if you are able to make a comment, let me know where you are watching from in the world. So again, it's Emotional Freedom Wednesday, and I think I've got something in my eye, so I'll be blinking probably quite a lot. If you are watching on the YouTube channel or you're watching on the socials, you should be able to comment. And if you're watching it in the Soul Legacy Academy and you're a student of mine, then you should be able to comment, and you'll be able to come on to the 2-hour monthly coaching call as well around these topics, because I know how, oh goodness me, I know how it can feel. I just put some eyeliner on, and if you are watching me on the YouTube channel, you're watching me brush my eyes and trying to focus. It's live, it's raw and real. It's me, Iona Meade, showing up and feeling good. I'm feeling good. How are you feeling today? I saw a post on Facebook from one of my soul sisters, and she was saying basically that don't forget to reward yourself for the hard work that you do in business. Every single day you might be working hard, you're doing, not even just in business, and just in general. She was talking about business, but just in general, like, what's your favorite? The question was, what's the favorite kind of, what is the favorite way? What's your one favorite way to reward yourself for doing whatever you're doing in your business? And I'm like, I need a favorite way. And she's like, what? Need a what? And I said, I need a favorite way. I don't have a favorite way. Like, I don't really reward myself. I don't reward myself, I don't think. And then she said something like, she'll take a break and she'll sit on her balcony or a porch or something and just have 5 minutes, or she'll do different, a couple of little different things. And I'm like, well, or make a favorite food or something like that. And I'm like, well, I do those things, but I don't consider it a reward. And one of the reasons behind why she was saying that is because sometimes we can feel behind. We can feel like there's so much to do. And we feel a bit swamped and we feel a bit overwhelmed, and then we go down the emotional scale, right? So I said, oh, okay, I'm going to actually frame it like that. Like, I celebrate all the time. I'm always like, I went on my Facebook yesterday to announce that I was getting featured. I don't know whether I should be nervous or not. I wasn't. I had no idea what I was actually going to say. It turned out amazing. And then I celebrated afterwards and said I did it, so it wasn't a reward, but I do notice, when I'm getting stuff done and slaying stuff. I also notice when I'm slowing down and things like that, but I tend not to beat myself up. So do you beat yourself up basically in business, or do you, like, you are where you are and you're good with that? I know when you're self-employed, you've got even a team. I don't have a team. I'll have my assistant as and when I need her. I haven't needed her for a while because I was offline. But sometimes it's like managing everything, managing this, managing that, filling all the things in your day. In fact, I would say, if you know me, if you're new to me, you may not know, that I was offline, and I was fostering 3 children under 5, my kinship foster caring, my great niece and nephews. And I felt burnt out, to be fair. And I'm so far removed from that now. It's November 2023. And this was, I stopped foster caring, at the end of July 2023. And it just feels so far removed. I feel like myself, it took a toll. It took a toll on my body. It took a toll on my emotions. I went through a spiritual awakening and absolutely a dark night of the soul. And then I came on, I was doing lives on this 7 Freedoms Frequency podcast, a relaxed version of it on my Facebook, and just repetitively going through day by day, showing up, speaking out, and surfing deep, and focusing on the 7 freedoms, which I call the 7 freedoms frequency for intentional living. And lo and behold, I feel amazing. I haven't felt amazing the whole way through, but I've gradually just hockey sticked, and I feel really, really great. So sometimes if you're feeling some type of way, or you've got habits, or you've got circumstances or something that is not really supportive of your big vision and mission, or living really intentionally, or that's in alignment with your values, sometimes it is assessing and seeing what you've got to let go of, and sometimes it's seeing what you want to let more in, so yeah, what do you need to let go of? We're going to talk about that as we dive into this episode. What else have I done today? We'll talk about launching, leading, and leaving your day in a second. I'm just thinking. I just want to. This is me sharing for the 7 Freedoms Frequency. It's actually my journaling process. It's a video journal now, and I love it. I vision board, and I journal, and I show up live, and I'm here for you, but I'm here for me first, and I'm here for my students. And if nobody shows up, then I get to talk to myself, and I visualize the day when there'll be like hundreds and thousands of people on with me, and I'll be like, oh my gosh, remember back in the day when blah blah blah. But we all have to start somewhere, and maybe feel some type of way of starting at the beginning again. I started at the beginning again, and I'm like, I'm just gonna have to be scrappy. We'll talk about that in a second. So the 7 Freedoms Frequency podcast, I felt like I was going on something then. But what I will do is dive into the episode and the segments. We have 8 segments to the 7 Freedoms Frequency podcast. It should be 7 segments, right? But the first one is a simple one that we do every single day. And I invite you to rate your vibrational frequency, and be in tune. Just tune and track your frequency, meaning we talk about raising your vibration, right? But what does that look and feel like? Like, it's emotional freedom. We're moving up and down the emotional scale. When you look at the emotional scale, I haven't for a while actually. Oftentimes what I've noticed when I've been coaching my students is that there's a pattern of when we're going up and down the emotional scale, meaning that whatever feeling, say it's overwhelmed. I had a student who felt overwhelmed. Whenever she felt overwhelmed, she'd go down the emotional scale, and she might bump into a few of the emotions and then land at freer, and sit there for a while, and just be lost, right? And then she'd come back in, and I can't remember what side, like hopeful, optimistic, or something like that. So overwhelmed, boom, right back down to the emotional, the lowest vibration on the emotional scale, or or just not vibing high. And that's fine, because we need that contrast. And then, but if you learn what is overwhelming, or you learn what is the trigger to that downward spiral, that pattern, you can start to break your habits and break your thoughts and your thought patterns. And as Abraham Hicks say, reach for a better feeling for. I never really understood that like reach for a better feeling form, like, in my early journey. But I do now. And so when you look at, if you haven't looked at the emotional scale, I invite you to just Google it and have a look and see where you're vibing. And so for me, when I rate my vibrational frequency every single day, I want to know how in alignment I feel, how alignment I feel with my soul guidance source, universe, angels, guides, whatever that is, like whatever just feels really good in flow. I call it soul flow. If you're in soul flow, I didn't mean to rhyme, but and that leads me in every single area of the Seven Freedoms frequency, in every single area of my life. And how you feel about how you contribute in the world is what we talk about on Monday. How you feel about your health is what we talk about on Tuesday. How we feel about how we feel, right? Because sometimes we can feel a certain way and feel bad for feeling that way. Welcome. Let me know where you are in the world. Feel bad for feeling that way, which makes us spiral even more. And then how we feel about our environment. So today is really checking in with all of the 7 areas of the Seven Freedoms frequency and looking back on the last week or even the last month or even the whole year, right? Because we're coming up to the end of the year, and seeing how you're doing and seeing where you drop down and then what has you spiral up. How you feel about your relationships, how you feel about your spiritual connection and your spiritual practices, how you feel about your finances. Today is really a day for the 7 freedoms to align and assess where you're out of alignment. What thoughts are taking you out of alignment that you can jot down? What feelings are taking you out of alignment? Like, why do you feel the way that you feel? And what area are you feeling like that low vibe in? Because when I was reading, I listen to a book every single day, listen or read a book every single day. I probably will read a little bit from this because I haven't read it for a while. The Power by Rhonda Byrne. She talks about feelings, right? It's absolutely huge. But I was listening to, I usually listen to a book dedicated to feelings, right? And Abraham Hicks's Astonishing Power of Emotions is a great one. Really great one. But I didn't. I listened to The Vortex. Just The Vortex, right? And if you've heard of Abraham Hicks and the emotional scale and heard of The Vortex, it's that what we're manifesting that is in the vortex, they say in vibrational escrow, like it's done. Everything's done. It's created. We've just got to allow it. We've just got to be in vibrational alignment with it, which means feeling it. And so in the book, I listened to so much this morning. I was like, oh, wow. I wrote some notes down, but I'm like, I'll share this and I'll share that. But I listened to it so early in the morning. By the time I get round to the Seven Freedoms Frequency podcast, I'm like, I can't remember all of what they said in great detail, but the gist was. And I remember this is, and it just, I had to jump out of bed. I was listening to it in bed and I jumped out of bed. I was like, oh, I've got to write that down. And it says, and you might have heard this, that which is likened to itself is drawn. That which is likened to itself is drawn. Meaning how we feel. Like we say, the law of attraction, that is what's likened to itself is drawn. But it's not just attracting, it's vibrating and emitting first. And I'm laughing because that's the Seven Freedoms frequency, utilizing the having an awareness of the low vibration. That which is likened to itself is drawn. So self is what we need to work on to be at the vibrational frequency of what we want to draw into our life, right? Do you get that? And so they were talking about the vibration of us, basically the physical and the non-physical, higher self, soul, source. And when we feel some type of way, feel a bad emotion, bad, negative, whatever. No good and bad. Don't give me all things in the comments. I know, but like a positive and negative, like that repelling emotion that a lower vibrational frequency, basically. When we feel that, we're going to draw more of that. But when we feel that, our source soul doesn't feel that. So we're thinking about a certain thing in a certain way, and it's making us feel that kind of way because it's not true. It's not the true nature. It's not love. It's not joyous. It's not freedom. It's not a high vibration. So we know when we're out of alignment, when we don't feel good. So that's why I focused on, actually, every single Wednesday. Hey, welcome. Let me know where you're watching from in the world. I wanted to check in as spiritual entrepreneurs, as light workers. You know, we want to make our difference in the world. We want to do all the things, but building our business is not always easy. Pulling out what we're called to do and getting that out and communicating that out there online isn't always easy. And you might feel some type of way. You might feel some kind of fear. You might feel lower vibrations. And as I've gone through this journey, what I've noticed and what I keep shouting about, and it kind of gets people, let me know if it gets you, like, as we're awake, we're spiritually awake, we've gone through our dark night of the soul, multiple spiritual awakenings, right? And we know that lower vibrations are the thing that is lowering the vibration of the collective. However, we're not rising, we're staying at the frequency of fear. And you might be like, I'm not. We fear failure, we fear success. I talk about spiritual business success. We fear success, and we fear selling. We fear judgment, we fear criticism, we fear rejection, we fear all these things. Or even guilt, doubt, guilty for having money, guilty for doubting yourself. We know that we how to manifest, and we want to call things in, and then we go, yeah, the universal laws don't work. No, and then we're saying the universe is providing me, the universe is giving me signs, and then we'll go, yeah, the universe doesn't work, the law of attraction doesn't work. We're a contradictory vibration, and that's okay. And I laugh because I've done it, all the things, everything I always ever mention. I'm laughing because I'm just like, oh, wow. And I'm laughing at the collective as well, because I just think it's time to get real and honest and actually be more aware than what we think we're aware. We might be awake, but sometimes we're unaware. We can't see things for ourselves. And it needs somebody to say, hey, you know, actually, you're moving up and down the emotional scale, but really mostly you're low vibing on the emotional scale. What are we going to do about it? And that's why I'm here every single day, to support you. So with that said, how do you feel today? How do you feel? Do you feel great? Do you feel amazing? I want to say that my vibration, my emotions, so if you just, let me decide. Okay, in this moment, soul funk or soul flow? I'm in flow. I would say 11. I felt a slight frustration earlier. I was going to do an interview at like 9 my time, and I'm like, I can't even find the link. I'm not doing it. And I had engaged in certain kind of conversations, amazing conversation. And I'm like reeling and basking, and I'm kind of waiting for a message. I'm like, I didn't get the message today. And I'm like, oh, but it's not, I feel amazing. I was singing earlier, and just, yeah. So I would say an 11. The majority, the tipping point is an 11, which I love. I love high vibing. I love feeling in flow. I love freedom. I love joy. I love appreciation. I love all of that. And my phone is like blowing up with Tinder. I've had a lot. So yeah, and so Abraham Hicks was talking about relationships and how they make you feel, and they saying, you know, relationships make the world go round. They didn't actually say those words, but I said those words yesterday. And usually they said, you know, usually, you know, your life is summed up by relationships. The relationships that we came into, born into, the family, the relationships around us. Without relationships, we wouldn't exist. And so relationships are just absolutely huge, on the emotional scale, whether that's with soul family, our soul tribe, our soulmate, our soul clients, all those things, like how we launch our day, lead our day, and leave our day, and who with matters. And I had a really epic day yesterday, really epic, just building new relationships and talking and chatting and all those things. And I'll talk about it on Relationship Freedom Friday, but just incredible. Just a lot can happen. I said it out loud before coming on the Seven Freedom, this podcast, YouTube podcast. I said, so much can happen in 24 hours. Your life can change on a dime in 24 hours. Well, in an instant, right? So we talk about how you feel. What I want to talk about is my vision board challenge. I'm excited. I can't even believe, like, it's in a couple of weeks. Welcome. Let me know where you're watching from. It's in a couple of weeks. I'm like, 2023 has gone so quick. I did a vision board challenge in the middle of in July, the end of July, so just over the middle of the year. I'm going to do another one. Let me know if you're coming to a vision board challenge, and if you've done a vision board. We're doing a vision board for spiritual business, for that life work balance, and to manifest everything that you really wanted to manifest in 2023 that you didn't, and you weren't in vibrational harmony with, and anything that needed to be let go of, anything that you got dragged along with, anything that didn't make you feel good. We're gonna shake that up and just really get super clear on every single area of your life. I love it. You'll find that in the show notes and the description for the vision board challenge, and I'm really looking forward to it. This is like, I did it for me in July, but this is like the first season where I'm doing it like for 7 years. I've committed to do it for 7 years. So every single year, I've done it before as well, but every single year it's like, from here on in, it's like, what magic can we manifest as me opening up my life and my experience, because I have that faith in the universe and the universal laws, and that faith in myself, to go on the journey to manifest all the things that are on my vision board. And there's a lot on my vision board, and I talk about the 7 freedoms frequency every single day, but there's certain areas that I'm more focused on than others. I just sat back. I think I'm just going to rest my back. There's certain areas that I'm focused on more so than others, certain areas that I'm really good at and really good with. And that tends to be quite common for spiritual entrepreneurs and light workers. Often the spirituality stuff is like amazing, and then the financial freedom is not, or the relationship stuff is not. I saw a post today on Facebook about going through a spiritual awakening and losing all your friends and your family thinking you're crazy. Very common. And I'm like, I've gone through that now, which I'm really happy about, because it's lonely. It's really super lonely. I just put a stake in the ground and say, this is me. I talk about all the things that I do. And I think the biggest thing that helped me, I'm moving the camera. The biggest thing that helped me was writing my book. Because people know what books are. So as a spiritual entrepreneur, as a light worker, I'm saying to my family, look, I'm an author, blah, blah. They can understand that. Not so much coach, like people know what a sports coach is or whatever, fitness coach, but not so much, doing other things. But yeah, I'm fortunate to be through that now, but it's really, really common. And I talk about it more on Relationship Freedom Friday. And if you want to journal about things, then journal. Let me know if you journal. I use the Soul Legacy Journal to journal. This whole process as we put things on our vision board, it's huge. And there's many people that do a vision board, and it doesn't manifest, and they think it doesn't work, but they think it works for other people, but they don't think it works for themselves. Welcome. Let me know where you are watching from in the world. I love the vision board process, and then again, you know, the quote from the book, The Vortex, is that which is drawn is likened to itself. No, what does it say? That which is likened to itself is drawn. And so me showing up and living an intentional life is completely, totally and wholly for me. Let's talk about launching, leading, and leaving our day for the next segment. How did you launch your day today? How did you feel? I was a little bit frustrated because the internet wasn't working this morning, and I was like, dude, like work. Like 2 hours. I woke up like after 5, and then I just ended up getting up and going for a walk and listening to more of the Vortex. So I was fine. But yeah, that is how I launched my day. I launched it with listening to the book for the day. I find it really great, except for I can't ever remember what I really listened to share it with you in great detail, which I do like to sometimes. Yeah, so how did you launch it? And I went to the shops. It was about 8 o'clock in the morning. It was before the shops actually opened. Picked up some bits, and I picked up some plant-based stuff, which was amazing. I'm fasting until around 11 o'clock. So I was like, oh, I really just want to eat this. It was how do you feel? I have been talking about how I feel about my health and emotionally eating, and how when my cycles has stopped. I'm like, yeah, there's none of that. And my reticular activating system, the RAS, what I was looking for in the shops was very different to craving carbs and craving junk, right? When you're just balanced and you're feeling good and just normal, you know, you see the same places through a different lens. Last night I went to the shop, instead of like going over to the potato chips, it was blueberries and almonds, and I'm like, when were these almonds and blueberries in the shop? I didn't see them, you know. So that was really good. I feel like more of myself. So I'm getting back into the fasting and stuff more so this week, and just increasing that. So yeah, how did you launch your day? How do you feel about your day? How did you lead your day? I've been doing email. Oh, I feel amazing. I've been doing emails. I'm nearly finished. I've been updating the emails for my bootcamp for the Soul Legacy Launch Blueprint and the co-author program, and I'm so excited. Like, to have that, then I'm going to do the 5-day and update that because things have changed. And then I'm going to do the mastermind, like automate. I was talking on an interview yesterday how I left my day. I talk about how you launch, lead, and leave your days, your soul legacy. And yesterday I left my day with doing an interview on funnels. And I was sharing my screen, I was sharing my 1-page plan, I was sharing all the things, and I came off that absolute feeling amazing. And I'm like, yeah, right, okay, this is the funnel for this is the funnel for that. And I look and I think, gosh, I've got so many funnels. There's funnels for there's funnels here, right? You know, there's funnels and a funnel. And I was talking to somebody on the dating app. It's like, what? Sorry for being ignorant. Like, what is a funnel? And I'm like, well, basically, and I explained it in a really cool way, actually. But that sequence to when somebody sees you, meets you, you send that link, and then you guide them through the journey to whether they want to work with you or not. And we had a lot of conversations, and I'm like, okay, we didn't talk about the funnels that you have after somebody buys from you, after somebody pays you, those emails. Like, I've got I had an aversion to writing emails. With my Ellen and dyslexia, it's you know, more challenging for me. I like to speak, but I'm like, these emails and this 1-page plan needs funnel, like the funnel behind it kind of thing is the visual. And so I'm doing that. And thank you for your love and your support on my Facebook for that, offering me help. Because I was like, oh, I got to master the fear. I got to do this before I travel. I want it down. And I've almost finished, but I had the feeling, even though I've not quite finished, I've only got like 2 or 3 emails maybe 2 emails more out of maybe 15 or something. And I was like, oh, I just had that feeling of like all the boot camp being done. I still got some stuff in, some of the steps to do and update and homework and stuff. But I'm like, oh, the idea is to get it done before the end of the year, and just go into 2024 with it complete and tight and amazing. Like that for me is phenomenal. It's a phenomenal feeling. Like, wow, you know, to have that. And I'm doing the paperback as well. I tried to upload the paperback and it needs formatting some more. So, that's 3 passive income streams just like that. And I was talking about that on the interview yesterday. And again, like I said, I was going to leave my day again with another interview. And for some reason, there's not a link. There wasn't a link. I've rescheduled this interview so many times, just because I just didn't feel ready and prepared. And I do now. And yeah, it feels really good. So how you launch your day, lead your day, and leave your day matters. So, and how you feel about it, how you feel about all the things. Let me know how you feel. So launching your day, leading your day, and leaving your day, that's basically your morning routine, your daily routine, and your nighttime routine. We know that habits and the things that we do are that to be in alignment with our vision board, being the version of us is going to have that manifest, right? It doesn't make sense to create a vision board. Welcome. It doesn't make sense to create a vision board and then do the exact opposite and be a completely different version of you that you actually want to manifest, like, and then go, it doesn't work. That makes no sense. We know, but like we do get caught up in the day-to-day sometimes. Or sometimes we create such a grandiose vision that we don't even believe, so we just don't even bother. And I want to create the vision board for every single year and hold you accountable. You hold me accountable, and I support my students as well. For me, I'm just having fun. Like, this is work, right? I love it. So, next segment of the 7 Freedoms Frequency podcast is setting 1 to 3 soul guided action steps based on how you want to launch your day, lead your day, and leave your day. So, for me, I want to launch my day more so with having things in an automated way. So like scheduling out more, and there'll be times where I'll schedule out lots and then I won't. So it's like, okay, well, what do I need to do? So I'm working on different projects, but doing the emails, keep on doing the emails till I get them all done. It's a lot. Reaching out and having people be interviewed, reaching out and being featured. It's those things how I envision on my vision board to do my summit, the Spiritual Awakening on your YouTube summit, and I haven't even reached out for next week, to be fair. And then reaching out to get featured, excuse me, is no good of having, like, I want to create passive income streams. I don't want to work like and go work a soul-sucking day job or night job or whatever, or rely on a spouse or anything, or government assistance, none of that. Like, but we have to then do the thing that we envision, right? It's just, sometimes it's such a mismatch. All right, next segment. What is next? I'm going to pull the card for today just to break up the day. So this is from Keepers of the Light. And I usually get some of you guys on here when I hold this up because you're like, oh, that's for me. Lady Portia says, divine order, do what you feel is right. An important lesson is unfolding. I couldn't think of the lesson apart from relationships because that's where I'm at. Yeah, definitely will be doing as what I feel is right. You can't really see me, can you? But yeah, there we go. We have that there. Okay, Lady Portia. This powerful goddess is a figure of justice and peace. She brings order and opportunity to every experience. As a lord of karma, she regulates the law of cause and effect. Yes. She helps us recognize the impact of our judgments, choices, and actions. That is huge, actually, on ourselves and the world. She is the twin flame of Saint Germain, so is strongly connected to the violet flame energy. Together, these twin flames can work as overseers of legal situations. Justice is an energy that's about honoring everyone involved rather than punishing that bad behavior. Lady Portia helps us to do what is right morally and spiritually for soul's growth. I knew I'd get you guys on here for this card. It's Lady Portia. I'm reading out the extended message. This is for me and it's for you. Right now, a call for justice is being brought into your space, even if it means you will lose out there. I don't want to lose out. There really is no loss. Thank you. There really is no loss in the high state of truth. Act from the heart, see the other person's point of view and surrender your pride so that you are coming from a loving space. Yeah, I can do that. If you've made choices that weren't for the highest good, admit it. Okay. Through honesty, you are releasing any karmic bonds or anchors of fear from your energy. Take the time to learn from this situation, and if you are involved in any legal issues, know that Lady Portia and the angels of justice are gathering round to honour everyone involved. And the only legal issues I can think of is the kinship foster caring, so I'm out of that. All right. I'm not going to read that book for today. What else have we got to do? Oh, the Bank 50K in 50 Days challenge, and then gratitude. So the Bank 50K in 50 Days challenge, I write in my journal. This is basically my video journal. It's 365 days of your spiritual awakening story, I call it, because we're having a spiritual awakening all the time. We're awakening. We're being more aware. We're more aware. A co-created soul path to spiritual alchemy for light workers. And so I say that this journal is magical. It gives you £1,000, dollars, or euros every single day. And we spend our vibrational money voucher, and we tithe 10%. I tithe 10% to a worthy cause called Compassionate Friends. It's a charity for bereaved parents because I am one. I dedicate my work to my son. And then we tithe 10%, and then we can spend the vibrational money voucher every single day. And we come from the space that all our bills are paid. I was distracted by the notification. Come from the space that our bills were paid. Come from the space that our taxes are paid, and come from the space that we've got savings for the year, right? And so if you don't want to spend your vibrational money voucher today or every single day, you can carry it over to the next day. And then on Sunday, you have to spend it. So essentially you have 7K in a week to spend, and you spend it on whatever it is that you want to, whatever you've put on your vision board, whatever experience that you want to have, spend it. Be in vibrational harmony with it. Feel good about money. Feel good about your business. If you're a spiritual entrepreneur and you're in business and you want to do your light work in the world, get paid very well for it. Feel good about it, right? Because you don't want to go and work a soul-sucking day job, do you? No, you don't. This is my gratitude stone. We say gratitude the way the Seven Freedoms frequency way. And so I bring in all the 7 freedoms for living an intentional life. And the acronym for the 7 freedoms is called the Cheers to Financial Freedom frequency. The intentional living codes, Cheers to Financial Freedom frequency. And the whole point of this YouTube podcast is for us to rise and reside at the Cheers to Financial Freedom frequency we wish to witness in the world. So that which is like unto itself is drawn. So we have to start with us. So this is me vibrating at a higher frequency. So I say I'm happy and I'm grateful and I appreciate. And then it might be something in the past, something in the present, or something in the projected future. So we feel the feeling of feeling really happy and really grateful and really appreciating, right? That high vibration. We want to have that emotional freedom, free from worry, doubt, going down the emotional scale. We want to go up the emotional scale. So I'll bring into the 7 freedoms. So contribution freedom, I'm happy and grateful and appreciate, that I was able to do the contribute to the interview yesterday with Josh and Anna. Thank you so much. Really happy and really grateful. Really appreciate that. I had fun. Happy and grateful and appreciate my health. I've been really looking after myself today, and I picked up some bits, some self-care bits, and some makeup wipes, which I like, kind of cleansing wipes, which I never use. I don't use anything on my face usually, but because I'm coming on live every single day, I'm wearing makeup, but not for long usually. So I want to make sure that my skin is like cleaned. I'm happy and grateful and appreciate that I saw those in the shop today. Like, it's just like little stuff, right? I'm happy and grateful and appreciate emotionally. What do I appreciate? The laughs that I had with my niece today. She's funny. I'm happy and grateful and appreciate the environment that I'm able to do another interview online, just have the forms and have the what have you. I'm just happy and grateful for that. I'm happy and grateful and appreciate relationships, the relationships that I'm forming online on the dating app. I'm happy and grateful and appreciate that a lot. Happy, and I'll tell it all on Friday. I'm happy and grateful and appreciate spiritual connection, the guidance. Oh, just being, I think that was it. Actually, I think I might have just got that message and I turned away. That's what I'm happy and grateful. I think I got that. Happy and grateful and appreciate that guidance. That which is likened to itself is drawn. Happy and grateful and appreciate financial freedom. The financial, I went to the shops today, got what I needed, came back, and I was like, that's pretty cool. So that is it. I think that is it for all the 8 segments. Last segment is to invite you, 1, to subscribe to the YouTube channel at Solix TV, Spiritual Business Success with Iona. I'm going to sneeze. Bless me. 2, check out the links in the show notes in the description. Come over to the Vision Board Challenge. Let me know. Oh gosh, that you'll be on that. There's a Facebook group as well, and there's homework as well. What else? Come to the monthly call for the Spiritual YouTubers Network as we connect and we co-create and we collaborate and we cross-promote and we do all the things on the first Monday of the month at 9 p.m. UK time. Excited about that. I feel really excited. That is it for the 7 Freedoms Frequency podcast. Thank you for spending this time with me. And again, remember to share your light. Share your gifts. Shine your light really brightly. Because you were born to serve. Here's to showing up, speaking out, and serving deep. Be blessed in your soul purpose. Take care. Big love.